Hey friends, welcome to Hot News. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. Let's go ahead and talk about the things that are going on in the tech world after I tell you that today's video is brought to you by our website, UFD Deals. If you're trying to save money on anything that you want for your system, whether it's a mouse, a headset, a monitor, or graphics card, at UFD Deals, we try to bring all of the best tech deals into one location for you guys to check it out, save a little bit of money. We make a little bit of money off of affiliates. It's all a good deal. Everybody wins. That's why we call it UFD Deals instead of no deals. Anyways, just check it out in the link in the video description. Let's talk about Radeon VII, which is the anti-UFD deal. If you look at any of the reviews that are on the internet, we'll leave a link in the video description for this mega thread that's on Linus Tech Tips forums for all of the reviews that we see going around on the internet for the Radeon VII. And to sum it up, it's essentially what we thought it was when in our video we released on Tuesday, where it's a $700 2080 that kind of wins, kind of loses, and is just why? Why, AMD? Why are you doing this to us? That's kind of where we are with it. If I take a look at the good old gamers video right here, his title is absolutely perfect. It's the Radeon VII is a marketing blunder. That's exactly what this is. It's a compute card that's marketed for gamers and content creators, but like YouTubers, not like real content creators. Ha! Why are you stroking your mustache while you're laughing at that one?
I'm trying to get it out the way.
Out of the way? It's on your face. You walk into it every time you walk. It's always in your way. So Radeon VII, a marketing blunder, not really meeting what people wanted out of it. However, that doesn't mean that there's not some information that we could glean from the launch that happened yesterday. One of the big things was some marketing material that AMD put out about what they think you could use 16 gigabytes of HBM2 graphics memory for, and they showed that the max settings on each game and what you can do with it, such as Far Cry 5 using 13 gigs, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 using 12, Metro Exodus, which isn't even out yet, uses 11, then the Division using 11, and then the one that everybody's kind of been quoting to me is like, didn't you know Radeon 7 uses like a bajillion gigabytes of RAM at 4K because it's so intensive? But AMD at max settings 4K quotes it only uses 8.8. I'm pretty sure you guys have broken Resident Evil 2s or you're using settings that you probably shouldn't. Anyways, like only 2 of these games use more RAM than the 1080 Ti and the 2080 Ti have, and so like even Far Cry 5, who's playing that at 4K max settings, and who's playing Black Ops 4 at 4K max settings? I'm sure there's like 3 of you who are going to comment down below, but yeah, 16 gigabytes of memory, not really useful, but AMD is saying that it can be used for some things, such as video encoding in 8K for everybody who does that, which again is where the bad marketing comes in. They're trying to push it towards gaming, so they release all of these gaming benchmarks, but then they give us 2 production benchmarks for like, who is this for? Anyways, another thing that confuses who is this for is the fact that they just randomly announced that it's going to have more FP64 performance than it was supposed to. So the double precision performance of the card is typically used in compute scenarios to make sure it doesn't screw up what it's actually working on. And before launch, AMD confirmed that it was supposed to have 0.88 teraflops of FP64 performance, so 880 gigaflops. That's what they were quoting. And then all of a sudden they were like, hey, we hear you people actually might want to use this gaming card as a compute card, so we are going to increase the amount of FP64 performance you have, and it's actually going to be like 3.5 teraflops. So what are you doing, AMD? Is this a gaming card? Is this a compute card? Why are you changing the compute performance after it already goes on sale? And speaking of it going on sale, they're completely out of stock. As far as I could see, they were out of stock within the first 10 minutes on Newegg. We talked about yesterday how UK only got about 100 to 200, and France and Spain each only got 20 units. This card is basically non-existent for all intents and purposes. It doesn't look like AMD actually even wants to sell it, and it's just a flex so that they can have the first 7nm gaming graphics card out on the market, as opposed to their MI50 and MI60, which were the first 7nm GPUs that ever existed. This is a weird flex, but okay. And then AMD also announced or said yesterday that while all we can see of Radeon VII is the reference edition, that AIB partners are, quote, free to develop modified versions to meet customers' needs, which is basically nobody, because who needs this? And if you need it, why can't you just use the reference edition? I don't see anybody getting involved here and actually making a reference card. I'm pretty sure the Radeon VII is just going to be a blip in February 2019, being like, hey, do you guys remember when AMD released a graphics card? Nobody has one. So pick up one now so that you have the limited edition. You can sell it for $50,000 in 2 years. 5? How long does it take for a graphics card to become antique?
It's like 5.
5 years. 5 years, and then you make a lot of money. But you know who's already making a lot of money? The guys who made Red Dead Redemption 2. They've already sold 23 million copies without even launching on PC. So this game is just doing redonkulous. Why are you like this? Ah! Good job, Take-Two. You made a lot of money. And there's more like 1660 Ti stuff that's going around the internet. We already talked about this in the last episode of Hot News where the Russian retailer leaked stuff, and so we have clock speeds and whatnot, except for people like websites talked about the leak for the price, and now they're talking about the leak for the specs instead of talking about it all at once. But it looks okay. And then I just have to bring up this video that I found on the internet by Oz Talks Hardware because he did a video that we've been talking about doing for quite some time, and I'm a little bitter, but you should definitely go check it out because he did a really good job. It's an RTX 2060 SLI video where he made two 2060s work together to bring performance that might even rival a 2080 Ti in certain scenarios. So check out his video at the link in the video description or in that card right up there. And I guess let me know if you want me to cover this as well, but I think he did a good enough job that he took our video from us, and I'm a little sad. But you know what I'm not sad about? The Sony Walkman, because it's a Kingdom Hearts edition. Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out with a Sony Walkman. For whatever reason, I had no idea that these things were still in production. I had no idea that Sony was still trying to play this game, but you could see Sora in a what's that? That's a chair, throne. In a throne with the crown on his head on this 16 gigabyte Sony Walkman. Apparently they're also releasing Kingdom Hearts branded headphones, but they're not the WH-1000MX3s, so I'm not picking these up because they're worse headphones than what I currently have from Sony. So why couldn't you do this for me, Sony? Why couldn't you just give me noise-canceling headphones that are also from a really great game? You're really bothering me. You guys might not care about Kingdom Hearts 3, but I do, so shut up. Apple is actually going to be compensating the person who found the bug, the FaceTime bug that allowed people to listen in to the person on the other end of the FaceTime call without them accepting it. And so they're actually going to be paying the 14-year-old guy who actually discovered the bug that was going on there, and apparently they offer up to $200,000 for security vulnerabilities that are discovered, but it's not yet known whether or not they're going to be paying this guy the full $200,000, although I would expect they should, especially with how high profile it actually was. But you know what else is high profile? Jeff Bezos and his dealings at Amazon, and how he's getting blackmailed about the things that he did with a woman who wasn't his wife. And he is now trying to say that they were trying to extort him so that they would not release his nude photos. Fantastic. This is slightly tech related because of Amazon, but I'm moving on from this topic because it makes me a little uncomfortable. Let's talk about judges handing out fines to a GTA Online hack called, what's it called? It's called Elusive, which allowed people to make GTA Online currency in infinite amounts, thereby subverting the whole GTA Online economy and ruining Take-Two Interactive's profit margins, even though they've made obscenely amounts of lucrative cash flow through GTA Online. Like, it's insane how much money they're making off this thing. So anyways, they took the guy who actually made the cheat to court, and even though he didn't actually comment on all of the charges against him, the judge issued the maximum fine, which was $150,000 plus legal fee on Take-Two's side. So that's a lot of cash. However, he was selling the cheat for money, so it's not like he didn't profit off this venture. It wasn't just like a mod that was out on the internet. He actually was, you know, making bank. And then there's a futuristic fabric that just came out. Scientists have invented fabric that actually adjusts itself based on what the temperature is. If it's cold outside, it gets closer together to trap your body heat in, and if it's warm out, it actually stretches itself out using carbon nanotubes. That's how we're gonna get clothing of the future. It's pretty cool. You guys can check it out. You're probably not gonna be able to buy it anytime soon, especially since carbon nanotubes are more expensive than printer ink. And big ups to Respawn for making Apex Legends, because within the first 3 days, okay, we talked earlier about how in the first 8 hours they hit 1 million people. In the first 3 days, they've hit 10 million people playing this game. I know there were a few people in the previous Hot News who said the only reason this is popular is because big streamers are being paid to play it. while it may be true that there is advertising going on, I cannot tell you how many people actually hype this thing up when they actually, like low-level influencers that I know who probably definitely aren't getting money from Respawn. Everybody that I've seen on the internet who I'm in circles with has been talking super positively about this game. So I think the hype is actually going to be here to stay. So that's pretty cool. And then lastly, we got Microsoft saying that the internet is now a kinder place. So they have apparently a civility index where they measure the toxicity of the internet, and it fell 2 points to just 66 points of civility that's going on. The closer it gets to zeros, the more civil the internet is, which I'm not sure I believe that. Have you guys been on YouTube lately? And speaking of this, honestly, I feel like this is just a metric for them to bring back their AI bot who keeps going super racist and neo-Nazi. Like, do you guys remember this? Microsoft's bot? Like, they keep making a Twitter bot that learns the culture of the internet and then just turns into a really fascist, neo-Nazi, racist little bigot. It
happens within like a day.
Yeah, within several hours, this thing is spewing things that it probably should never do. And I think this might be Microsoft's way of being like, internet's now more civil. Maybe we should try again. Don't do it, Microsoft. We don't need little Tay. What was the Microsoft bot called? It was something similar to that. It was called Tay, yeah. Okay, that's why. This is the top headline when I search Microsoft bot racist. Twitter taught Microsoft's AI chatbot to be a racist a-hole in less than a day. Anyways, that's where I'm wrapping up hot news today. Let me know what you think of the Radeon 7 being a racist. No, wait, that's the wrong thing. Let's talk about anything and everything that I talked about down in the comments down below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Go check out, I was gonna say get subscribed, but go check out UFT deals in case you want to save money on computer parts around the internet. Get subscribed if you want to stay up to date on all of our tech related content. I'm Brett with the UFT Tech channel. You've just been filled in. I love your smiling faces, and I'll see you again in the next video. Love you too.